Okay, so what I have here is an RCA 50LB45RQ, and quick backstory on the TV. I got it a couple months ago, replaced the main board, got it to work, sold it to a friend of mine, lasted about a month, and then it died. He brought it back to me. Of course, I'm going to fix it for free, because, it's just right. But anyway, first thing I thought was, with what it was doing, well, let me get into what it was doing first. Okay, what it actually does is it will turn on for a split second, LEDs flash, then it cuts off. And when it cuts off, it doesn't just cut off, but it latches. Now, if you're not familiar with what that means, latches, when we say something latches, it means it actually will not allow you to turn it back on until it's reset. And to reset it, you have to actually unplug it. So, unplug it for like 10 seconds or something. So, first thing I'm thinking, of course, is a bad LED. So, I pull the data sheet for the LED driver IC, and I see that there's certain things which will make a latch: over voltage protection, over current protection, things like that. So the first thing I did is I tested all the LED strips by externally powering them, and they all lit. So, I'm thinking at this point, LED strips are good, right? Well, wrong, and we'll get to that in a minute. But so now at this point, since I'm thinking the LED strips are good, I go on to testing all types of different components on the power supply, and I probably wasted a couple days doing this. I drew out a whole schematic of it because I couldn't find one online, and I found nothing wrong. So back to the LED driver IC, I'm looking at it like, okay, so what can make this latch? And overcurrent protection is one thing which I didn't check for. So now I have an ammeter set up, and I'm going to plug this in, and when I power it on, this is the actual bad LED strip, and you're going to see on the meter here. Oh, and I should point out too, I found that by disconnecting the adjust pin from the main board, I just pulled the actual connector right out of the harness, and or pulled the wire out of the connector, I mean. And what I found is by doing that, the TV will actually light even with the bad LED strips. So this allows me to take some current measurements and stuff. And I don't know if this will work on all TVs, but it works on this one, so it's kind of handy. So when I turn this on, you're going to see how much current is being drawn. It's going to take a second. Okay, now that is, you can see that 0.069 amps, and that's the bad LED strip. Now 0.70. Okay, so now I'm going to unplug this, and I'm going to switch to one of the good LEDs, and this might take me a second to do this. So let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch positions here. See, I don't like to cut wires. I like to actually pull them right out of the harness whenever possible, because then I could put them back in and everything's as it was. So now, and I'm doing this with it unplugged, by the way. Just, it's probably a good idea. So now this is a good LED, or LED strip, and when I plug this back in and power it on, you're going to see the difference. 0.030 amps. And the other three are the same. Now, like I said before, it's actually only coming on right now because the adjust pin is disconnected. Now, if I actually plug this adjust pin back in, here, can you actually see this wire right here? If I actually plug this back in, if I actually plug that back in, what you're going to see is just a flash. Just give it a second. See, just a flash and it cuts right off.